And I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died, my richest gain. I count but loss and poor contempt on all my pride.
Hello and welcome to Hayling Island Baptist Church's Good Friday Reflection. I'm speaking to you today from Her Majesty's Naval Base Portsmouth and St Anne's Church. It's a church where I've preached on many occasions and spent numerous hours with my chaplaincy colleagues in prayer. And you know, it's personally speaking, it's always been a place where I've been able to encounter and meet with God. I don't suppose that is really a startling revelation, because after all, this is a church building, a place where a congregation meet together to worship God. But have you ever thought about Good Friday as an opportunity to also encounter with and meet God? It's quite an interesting thought, isn't it? Can humankind actually meet with and engage with God through this barbaric historical event where Jesus was crucified on a cross at a place called Calvary? It occurs to me initially on hearing the story of Jesus that people might assume that he failed in his mission to preach the kingdom of God, to preach about the good news that forgiveness of sins was available to all humankind. Because let's be honest, he was arrested, he was crucified, and he did die on that cross on that first Good Friday. So maybe his mission, quite rightly, can be assumed to have ended in failure. It was all over. But actually, you know what? It was just the beginning. My job as a Royal Navy chaplain is to recruit civilian ministers, priests and pastors to the Royal Navy as chaplains, so that they might exercise their ministry and their vocation in this exciting context where we meet sailors and go to sea on board ships and work in training establishments and all manner of things where we engage with naval personnel. But you know, it's not quite so simple as me reaching out to them and saying, hey, do you want to join the Royal Navy? And they sign on the dotted line. They have to go through quite a rigorous recruitment process. And that involves all manner of things. They have to meet the exacting standards of a medical. They have to pass a pre-joining fitness test. And eventually, they have to go on to something called the Admiralty Interview Board, where their leadership skills are tested alongside their sense of vocation. It's quite a demanding process. And sometimes applicants fail one element or another along the way. And when they do, they receive a letter saying, I'm sorry, you do not meet the required standards. It's called a rejection letter. Well, thank God for Jesus, and back to Good Friday. You see, Good Friday had to happen. Jesus had to die on that first Good Friday, because there's not one person that has been able to live a life that meets the required and reasonable standards that God asks of us. The Bible puts it like this: all have fallen short of the glory of God. That's why Good Friday was necessary. In and of our own volition, we all fall short of that required standard. And it leaves a barrier between us and God that stops us really from engaging with Him and encountering Him in all of His fullness and glory. But the good news is this: through the death of Jesus on that first Good Friday, that foreboding barrier has been completely and utterly removed. And that means removed for all humankind, no matter how bad we think we've been, no matter how far we think we've strayed from God. All that has been dealt with at the cross of Calvary. Jesus gained the opportunity for all of us, you and me, and the entire world, to have access to the living God, that we might engage with Him, meet with Him, encounter Him, and build a living relationship with Him. That's the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. His story didn't end with death on a cross. It didn't end in a meaningless event that appeared to be the failure of His mission. As Christians, we look beyond Good Friday to Easter Sunday. So why not join us this Easter Sunday at Hayling Island Baptist Church at our online service and celebrate Easter with us? Thank you.